Welcome back to the Real Estate and Wealth Podcast. Today we are talking about day 3 of the Letitia James saga. So we've already talked about the difference between a primary residence and an investment property. Day 2, we talked about the difference between buying a 1 to 4 unit building opposed to a 5+ unit building. And today we are talking about another aspect of this whole saga, which is listing her father as her husband on a loan application. Now, aside from it just being like, ew and gross, just to think that you are listing your father as your husband just to get approved for a loan. Now, tell me, would you risk a felony just to get approved for a loan? I don't think I would, but tell me your thoughts. I don't, maybe you would. So the fact that she did this, and she didn't do it just once, she did it twice. She did it in 1983 and also in 2000. Why would someone even want to do this or think to do it? Because honestly, I'm in real estate. I would not think to do that. To be honest, I really wouldn't. But what would make somebody want to do it or think to do it? Well, for one, it does help for her to qualify for a higher amount. Maybe she couldn't qualify for the amount of the house that she was looking to buy on her own, and she needed someone else. And that's real, right? Because that happens. But why didn't she list them as just a co-borrower? But why not do that? Why list them as her husband? Well, they look at that income totally different when it's a spouse because the spouse is part of the income pool of your household. Whereas just as a co borrower, they would have their own situation happening, their own housing and expenses, and it's not a part of this household. So it is looked at differently and is scrutinized differently than if you are a spouse. It's not scrutinized the same way. So why does this even matter, right? Oh, maybe she just made a mistake and she checked the wrong box. Do you think that happened? I don't know. Could it have happened twice? Possibly, but ultimately, it is mortgage fraud. You're falsifying documents and it's a federal offense. So, uh, I don't know. It does matter. So when you are filling out a mortgage application or really any application, you do need to take your time and make sure that you are giving truthful information and you're not accidentally checking something that you shouldn't. Which kind of brings up the question of the lender. Should the lender have any fault in this? Should the lender have verified this information, whether she's married or not? I can say when I purchased my home, they didn't question us if my husband was actually my husband or maybe it was my brother, or they're going off of us being truthful in the application process and that we're not going to check something that's not correct. But maybe in the other instances, maybe the lender does have some fault. But in this instance, maybe this one, the lender would not have any fault in it. I don't recall if they asked me, is that your husband? Or asked my husband if I was his wife. I think it does not matter in this particular situation. Maybe in the other ones, it would. So when you think about it, as New York's top cop, the New York Attorney General, you prosecute other people for things like this, for fraud. So, did you make a mistake or did you know what you were doing? Was it a mistake or was it you knowing how to work the system? What do you think? Do you think that it was a mistake? Do you think she knew how to skirt the system to get what she wanted? I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. As a prosecutor for New York State, to knowingly and willingly lie on an application, it's beyond me. It is beyond me. And I'm not taking sides. I'm just looking at the evidence that was presented. And of course, this is still under investigation, and all of this is alleged until it is proven in court. But just us right now looking at this information and making a judgment call, making a moral call, and just knowing that you go after other people for this. Would you be able to get off if you were in that situation and you weren't the attorney general? Is another question. But now this brings me to another topic that was recently in the news, that now they are trying to say that she can use taxpayer dollars, or let me not say that she can use, but they are proposing that she should be able to use taxpayer dollars for her defense. And do you think that is right? At the end of the day, this isn't a mistake that happened during the course of business. This is something that was personal. So, do you feel that she should get her own defense and pay for that out of her personal funds? Or do you feel like the taxpayers of New York should be responsible for her defense to defend her in something that has nothing to do with her business? Now, if she made a mistake in court doing attorney general work, then I can understand that. But if she did something personally, she did it over the course of several years. And as an attorney, I would think you should know better. But what do I know? Um, I would think that it should not be taxpayer funds that go to her defense. But tell me what you think, because I'm very curious on what you guys think about this. So comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this case. And if you want to see part one and part two, I'm going to link it in the description. And if you're new to my channel, again, don't forget to like this episode. Feel free to comment below and subscribe to my channel so you know when new episodes come out. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.